Welcome to Halloween Horror Month on Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review See No Evil 2, where Katharine Isabelle rides a stiff.
Directed by the Twisted Twins Jen and Sylvia Soska, starring Glenn Jacobs, Danielle Harris, and Katharine Isabelle, See No Evil 2 picks up right where See No Evil leaves off. Danielle Harris's character has a surprise birthday party at the morgue where she works. However, the good times don't last forever, and Jacob Goodnight, played by Kane, continues his mother's orders and kills all the sinners. What do we like about this film, guys?
Kane is an amazing serial killer. He is the perfect fit for what a serial killer should look like and how they should act.
Especially with his new mask.
He looks so badass in this one. It was awesome.
He was brutal. He was strong. It felt like nothing could stop him. He was just like manhandling everyone. It was perfect.
And he's actually talking in this one. Though he doesn't say a lot, he says enough to get by.
The effects, the practical effects are pretty well done.
Somebody gets their neck sliced, and it's probably one of the best shots in the movie. Considering that most of this movie took place in the dark because the breakers get destroyed, it was actually really well lit. Every hallway had just enough light for you to be able to see the main cast.
A lot of the times they used like side lighting and it kept most of them in the darkness. So it was really cool because we got to see what was going on, but at the same time it kept us in that dark mood.
Yeah, which allowed Kane to kind of creep up on us a few times. And one of the coolest shots I thought was where they were like backlit by like a green or a yellow light, and it just looked really, really cool.
And I really liked the direction that the Twisted Twins took this, because the cinematic choices they used, the shooting techniques, it had like that more upbeat pace style of shooting. They really managed to capture the setting really good through the use of the lights and through the use of their like camera angles and shot types.
They really nailed the atmosphere, whether it was through the cinematography, like you guys said, the set pieces, all the little details to the tools and all that stuff, but also the music was well played. The acting fit well with what they were going for. So I think overall they created a really good vibe and atmosphere that is perfect for this kind of slasher film.
Another cool aspect of this film was Danielle Harris playing more of like a very cool protagonist woman lead. She kind of led the movie a lot, and it was really nice to see her in a very strong role.
Usually we'd mention our favorite kills here, but we don't want to give it away. The movie's brand new, just releasing, so we're going to skip this part and we're going to go straight into our dislikes.
To follow up my previous like of Danielle Harris playing a very strong role, it crumbled apart in the third act. She starts whimpering in the hall like a little girl. It completely crushed her character. Seth, her love interest, is now the bigger guy in the movie.
She was being strong, then she starts crying, and then they go and like, that shit didn't happen, we gotta make out now. Like, it just felt so out of place. The love story should have been put aside. The original See No Evil had some really cool kills. It really saved the movie from the weak parts that it had. Unfortunately, in this movie, we can't really say the same. The kills, it almost seemed like they were off screen, like nothing too memorable, maybe one or two scenes. I mean, we watch a lot of these movies. It sucks because we can kind of predict things. At this point in the game, you need to be able to change it up. Besides maybe one surprise, it was very much by the book. We know what's going to happen in what order.
Like, I felt the story fell flat. We see things we think are going to be important, but they're not. And then there are other things that aren't even explained, but we get this like, oh my god, realization moment where they're like, that's how we're going to stop Jacob Goodnight. Well, that's great that you know that. We don't know what it is.
There was definitely some disjointedness. A big standout is that they have this super slow-mo scene towards the end, and it was just like, why? What came of that shot didn't affect the end or anything before it. It was just a shot, perhaps to look cool, but
it did look very nice, but useless.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. So I was kind of excited for this movie. I don't really know why. I didn't overly like the first one, but I think I was excited about the Twisted Twins directing it. It's been so long, I think I just kind of forgot about what I didn't like about the first movie. But I think this one just turned out to be average. I don't think there was anything great and I can't say it's horrible. So it just kind of sits in the middle. I wouldn't recommend it if you wanted to see a slasher. I think there's better options. So I'm going to give it 2.5 busting through doors out of 5.
I love me a WWE Studios film because I love wrestling, and finding out that the Twisted Twins were going to direct this, I was excited because I thought they were going to take what was wrong with the first one and make it so much better. In the end, it didn't happen, and it was a big letdown for me. We got to see Kane grow more, which was awesome, and he had a new look, which was cool, and the cinematography was fantastic. But there were just no kills, and I feel as though WWE Studios really dropped the ball. This could have been the film that was going to take them to that next level in the horror genre, and it just didn't happen. So now they really need to figure out how to establish themselves. So that being said, I'm going to give this film 2 Twisted Twin cameos out of 5.
I'm a big fan of the Soska sisters, and I was so pumped. And I thought that they would really take it to the next level, and they've been talking about how they're going to establish Kane as the next big killer and make him a horror icon, and I don't think it happened. He really needed to up the body count. I mean, this was a fraction of the first one. Well, it did have great cinematography, and everything technically was beautiful about the film. I just really think that they needed to add a lot more kills. And I need to give a shit more about the characters, because about 4 of them I didn't care about at all, and I wish they died in more glorified ways. So that being said, I'm going to give this 2.5 Katie Isabelle's riding Kane and gently kissing him while he's dead out of 5. As always, thanks for watching. Like this video. Comment below with what you thought of the film. And did you think this was better than Leprechaun? Did you like this more than the first See No Evil? Let us know. If you want to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond, make sure you subscribe.